What's up, YouTube land? Xeno Gaming back for episode number 6 of my F1 2020 My Team series, and here today we are at the Dutch Grand Prix around Zandvort, where we are looking to improve on our result last time out in China. So, 5th race of the season, and it's an important one for us. First race in the European season, which is exciting. So Europe is underway. This is when the teams normally try to get their upgrades on the car when they come to Europe for the first time. So, hopefully we can show something today. There are new bits on the car. Hopefully they do the job here at Zandvort, which, first time for a long time that we've been racing at Zandvort. So hopefully we'll be able to make this happen. So we come here now for our first run in qualifying, and we are coming through the last banked corner. All the new elements to the track to give this track the go-ahead in Formula 1 have been implemented, and anyway, we go through for our first lap, and we are behind both the Alfa Romeo cars here, but we'll go again, and I will show this lap in full by the looks of it. This is our second lap on the same set of tyres here in Q1, and as we come out of turn, whatever turn this is, I actually spun the car into the barrier, so it wasn't me showing this lap in full. So yeah, that was unfortunate, but we come back in for repairs. We've got a new set of tyres on, and now we come round to improve to go into 10th place, and that will easily see us through to Q2, so that's good news for us. And unfortunately for our teammate, he's once again knocked out in Q1, so he hasn't had the best of things lately, but we'll hold up our flag highly here as in Q2. We're currently in 12th place on our second run here, though we're improving. Can we get into Q3 here around the Dutch Grand Prix? We move into 10th place. There's still 5 seconds left in the session, but we hold on so yeah, fantastic, and we will be through to Q3 for the third consecutive race now. So it looks like we found something on the Saturday here in qualifying. So yeah, that's exciting, and hopefully we can get this done in this third qualifying. I'm going to show this lap in full, my thoughts on the track. I personally enjoy it. Coming around turn 1, interesting corner, interesting line. You've got to take the big quick around there, then back to 5th here, and then back down to 3rd here. You've got to try and keep it tight. You get in the power early, not try to lose the rear end like I did before. And now this run, right and left, all flat out now, looking for this right-hander. Back to 6th gear. We're going to hold it in 7th, are we? Yes, we are. Maybe only in qualifying you can do that. Back to 6th gear for the right-hander, and now we have this right-hander. It's a tricky little right-hander, looks faster than what it actually is, slower than what I thought. But then here, actually, I get a tap from Lewis Hamilton here, and we're off the track, and that's actually going to be us qualifying in 10th place, unfortunately, today. But yeah, so I like the track here, and I'll show you what Lewis did to us here in qualifying. As you see, we're on our last lap in Q3, and he punts us off like it's nothing, so pretty much told us to move out the way. That's unfortunate that Hamilton's done that to us here on our run in Q3. He was very close to us on the lap, but a little bit too close, I guess, for our liking. But final 2 corners, I don't mind this final corner. It's flat. It feels really nice, actually. You can really feel the uphill section. So I like it. I like the track. I think it's a good track. And it's great that F1 returns here, especially for the Max Verstappen following. But it's only going to be 10th place for us today, unfortunately. So hopefully we can just move forward in the race.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top 3 today. Vettel, Bottas and Lewis Hamilton. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow. It was 35 years ago that the late great Niki Lauda took his 25th and final Grand Prix win here at Zandvort. He came from 10th on the grid to beat his McLaren teammate Alain Prost by just 0.2 of a second. Well, Zandvort is a very different circuit today, of course, but still one with an incredible legacy. And we're going to add to that. Welcome along to the 2020 Dutch Grand Prix. 4 lefts and 10 rights make up the 14 corners of the narrow and demanding Zandvort circuit, with plenty of peaks and valleys over the course of a 2.6-mile lap, which will demand absolute concentration from our drivers here today. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Sebastian Vettel has a clear track ahead of him today. He starts in pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Leclerc, Max Verstappen and Albon, Perez, Stroll, Ricciardo and the captain, Norris, Raikkonen, Carlos Sainz and Gasly, Kvyat, Ocon, Antonio Giovinazzi and Roman Grosjean, Magnussen, Hubert, Russell and Nicholas Latifi. And now it's time to head down to the track.
So, for the first time since 1985, Formula One is back in the Netherlands. And it's because of one reason only. That is Max Verstappen. He's become such a big thing that F1 knew they had to get races back here because they knew it would make money. So, anyway, back here, we're going to do, well, looks of it, a 2-stop. I mean, it was, sorry, a 1-stop, but there's going to be some rain intervening into this Grand Prix. So, we're going to have to go on the fly here today. But as the Revs drives here for the Netherlands, let's go. F1's back in Dutch land as we get a good start compared to Stroll. Ricciardo's also got a much better start. We're going to go down his inside here. And we're going to be 3 wide through turn 1 here. Ricciardo gets right around the outside of Stroll. And now we're side by side with the Canadian driver as we squeeze him out there. And now we are into 9th places now. We're trying to go around the outside of Daniel Ricciardo. And we can't make that stick as we now slot into 9th place here on the opening lap. So, yeah. That's a interesting start for us. Good news that we get past Lance Stroll. I think we've got a bit of pace this weekend around this track. But, as I was saying, 1-stop strategy if it was to stay completely dry. But with the chance of rain intervening, I don't think that's going to unfortunately happen here today. And I haven't really driven on the wet in this game yet, so it's all going to be very new for me this year. So we go right and left through this little chicane section as Ricciardo is behind his former team, the 2 Red Bull drivers in Albon and Verstappen. So not a great start for Verstappen here at his home Grand Prix for the first time, as he's behind Sergio Perez in the Racing Point car. Not an ideal start for him, but you can see now, a few laps later here, and I haven't had the pace to stick with Daniel Ricciardo. We're just ahead of Stroll, so it seems like we are about the 9th, 10th quickest car at the minute. So not really. And Stroll's had a really good run here. He's alongside us into turn 1. We squeeze him into the apex. We actually make a lot of contact there. Probably squeezed him a little bit too much, and now I think he maybe broke a little bit of his front wing. So that's unfortunate for him. But you can see Verstappen is still stuck behind Sergio Perez, and same as Albon. Lap 11, Ricciardo and a Ferrari pitted, so we move up into 7th place. But I actually was talking to Jeff, and even though the strategy is to go onto the hard tyre to go onto the end of the race, he said there is going to be rain in 5 minutes' time. And I took these soft tyres lasted 12 laps around here, so I believe. So there you go, 5. If I can get a word in, thanks Jeff. 4.8 seconds to Albon ahead. We're not really racing him at the minute today, but the fact that there's going to be weather in 5 minutes' time, these tyres are dead. By the way, they're finished. So we are going to have to come in for a new set of tyres. And I'm believing that I'm going to come in for another set of softs. He said 5 minutes till the rain. So if we've done 12 laps on these set of softs, another set of softs can easily go 12 laps. So we're going to come in for another set of softs and hopefully be quicker than guys that go into a normal strategy here today. And just say if the rain doesn't come and some work out stage dry, we can go into a set of mediums and make that work a little bit later on for us. So anyway, we're going onto a set of soft tyres so we can hopefully make up time over the AI in this period of time. And also the wheel, I haven't really resolved the wheel issues yet, but they did seem to be better for this Grand Prix, so hopefully that isn't a big issue for me in this race. So we're now behind Daniel Ricciardo, and we got a massive gain on him as he was stuck behind Grosjean. So he was a few seconds ahead of us, and we're right behind him now. And we've got such a better exit here out of the last few corners here. Due to the grippier soft tyre, he goes to the inside. I'm just taking the slipstream of Grosjean. I'm surprised they honestly didn't pull alongside the Renault driver. We've got so much grip, we go right around the outside of Ricciardo. Now we're trying to go around the outside of Grosjean. We almost made that work around Grosjean, but we're ahead of our fellow Australian. And now he's trying to go down the inside. There's not a chance you're going down there, Daniel. And we get such a better exit on the grippier tyres. We had to wait a full lap behind Grosjean as we now open the DRS here on Roman. He's going right up to the wall. He really doesn't want to give up this decision. I go all the way to the outside of the track and take the racing line. So much more confidence on the brakes compared to the Haas driver. And we are into 18th place for now. But you can see now the rain has started to fall here in the Netherlands. And we are on our soft tyres, which are helping us for now, as we're still sitting here in 18th place. So we're hoping other drivers make pit stops ahead. We are now behind Carlos Sainz, and we've got a lot more grip than these guys ahead on our soft tyres, but the rain is really falling. By the way, if I said 18th place, it's really hard to see this preview screen as always, so that's actually 10th place because Sainz is looking like he's in 9th place, so my bad there. But anyway, nonetheless, we move forward. You can see how much more grip we have than these guys ahead, and we've got so much more grip than Sainz. We're actually going to make a move on him in the last corner, and we make that stick, so into 9th place, and now we've got Perez ahead, who behind the two Red Bulls as they come into the pits now for the intermediate tyres. And you saw I tried to go flat through the last corner, I couldn't do it, so almost crashed into the wall there. But now Albon's stuck out and we have two stayed out. So the guys have already come in for the intermediate tyres behind. You can see they've come back out on the inters. So even though the group has deteriorated here, and other drivers have made the call to intermediate tyres, I'm struggling here, but we haven't dropped off a lot of pace. And Jeff now finally makes the call for us to go to intermediate tyres. I also feel like that screen is glitched at the minute. I hope Codemasters fixes it. But anyway, we're looking to make the move to intermediate tyres. We're struggling a lot more on this lap, but we're still keeping pace with Albon. But we haven't exactly fallen off the road with pace, but I do feel like the intermediate tyres is the right call. But we are still going at a pretty good rate here. So is it possible we can get an overcut on the guys that came in a lap before? You can see how much grip though we have left on these tyres. Not much, unfortunately. So we're going to come in for intermediate tyres, and we're going to have to take it very careful through this last corner. It feels like a straight track, this last corner. That wall is so close. But we come into the pit lane here, and I really ran out of grip there, and I almost sped into the pit lane and almost went into the back of Alexander Albon, but we made it work, and now we come into the pits for a set of intermediate tyres. So this is a great stop by Zeno Racing here as we come out ahead of Alexander Albon. So Zeno Racing does the job. There's Sergio Perez, he's come out ahead of us, so we're going to come out behind Perez and Norris. Norris is in the mix now as well, so Lando has done a great job. I don't know if he was ahead the whole time, but he's ahead of us as well on his intermediate tyres. But you can see here, lap 24, we've had a few laps behind Perez. We're trying to go for it, but We can't get past. We seem like we've got a little bit more pace here in the intermediate conditions compared to Sergio Perez. So Albon has we've actually gapped Albon behind. I don't know if he had any problem with his car, but up 25 now. We're still behind Perez, trying to go around the outside, use a different line to get past. We couldn't get that done there. For a second I thought we were going to get it done, but unfortunately he cuts it off. But we seemed very strong in this left-hander of turn 4. We seem much stronger on the exit of the corner compared to Perez. And I thought that's where we could get past, but now on lap 26 we're still struggling, falling away past Sergio Perez. He's also running the Mercedes engine. I was trying different lines. I'm trying to go around the outside here. That hasn't worked, but we've got a great run on the run to the chicane now to the long left-hander. And he goes into the middle of the track, but we're going to go to the inside. We bounce off the curb. We almost touched. We probably did touch, actually. But now we use the grip in our car around the outside, and we finally get past Sergio Perez. So we now have Lando Norris ahead for 6th position. So a great job by us there. As we're still in overtake mode, and that's really we're struggling through that last right-hander. And Perez is, well, that was easy, and we were in overtake mode. Not much I could do about that there. Racing has good straight line speed, but we got to go back around the outside. So we can't make it stick there. Can we do anything about it on the exit of turn 4? We're going to go in around the outside. We have so much grip around the outside there. And we have so much better drive out the exit of the corner. We finally do it. We finally get past Sergio Perez on lap 27 here. 9 to go. And we actually just cruised right up to the back of Lando Norris. So we have great pace here in the intermediate conditions. And we get a good exit here. It seems like this is where we're strong on the track. But with a bit of wheel spin there through that right hand kink. And we cannot get through. So once again, on the back of Lando Norris, lap 30. Perez is behind. Albon's caught up, so I don't know why he hasn't been quicker in his Red Bull. But look at the run we get here. We just can't pull alongside Norris. He's struggling with his cars moving all around there. Just typical wet conditions here today in Formula 1 racing. It's been a great return for Zandvort. Unfortunately for Max Verstappen, he's only 5th place, which seems what the Red Bull can do at the minute. But we're getting a good run here onto the main straight. We're going to have to be very brave with the throttle pedal through that final corner. Got overtake mode here. We're pulling close to the Lando. Not long to go now, but we're going to take a dive down the inside. And we make it stick. Lando trying to get the crisscross back, but he cannot. And we take 6th place here in the Dutch Grand Prix as the rain has now stopped as well. So dry conditions are coming, but is it really worth going back on the dry tyres? Not really. We'll just lose too much time. So we're just everybody's just sticking out on intermediate tyres. But you can see yellow flags up ahead as it's Nicholas Latifi in the Williams retiring from the Grand Prix. So that's unfortunate for him and for Williams, but, you know, not much he was doing anyway in this Grand Prix, as we are still in 6th place and he was probably running last anyways. We now move on to the last corner of the Grand Prix as we control the rest of our race, and we finish the Zandvort in 6th place for our best result so far for Team Zeno Racing.
What a great race then, and what a magnificent victory here at the Dutch Grand Prix. So Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. More points for Valtteri Bottas, further solidifying his lead at the top of the table. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
It's got to be Valtteri Bottas, a commanding performance that I think had the audience's eyes glued to him for the majority of the race.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Meanwhile, good work from the owner-drivers team this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
So that was the Dutch Grand Prix, our best race of the year. This is such an important to get a 6th place finish, because that means such a good amount of points. 8 points for us really will help us in our battles with the bottom teams in the championship. So what a race. I really made I was really good in the intermediate conditions, and that really helped us here today. Finish in 6th place. I don't think we would have finished in 6th place in the dry. So, you know, yeah, really worked out for us today. So yeah, Valtteri Bottas wins the Grand Prix. In the championship, he holds the lead over Hamilton still, but Mercedes seem to just be just controlling the championship. Vettel can win a race here or there, but and the Red Bulls haven't really made a mark yet, unfortunately for them. So, but positive news for us, we moved to 8th in the championship in the constructors. Also, I noticed that Crofty calls us the owner driver team. It would be cool if we could give, like the player, I give my player a nickname. I call him the captain. It'd be cool to give our team a nickname if we could, so he doesn't just call you the owner driver team. You know, it would be nice, but you know, it is what it is for now. As we now have our rival, we still in our rivalry with Daniel Kvyat, and we are currently leading that. Team Acclaim always going up, which is what you want to see, and a great weekend for the cash flow. So yeah, all positive vibes here for the Netherlands. Really good points for the team, and I was playing this game on 103 difficulty, just because new game, and I wasn't sure where to set it. So I set it to where I kind of started last year's game. I ended last year's game on 105, and it just took a couple of days. But after I realised I kept making Q3 3 in a row, I thought, you know, it's time to up the difficulty. So for the next race, I was going to do it. If it wasn't Zandvort, the next Grand Prix, which is a track I've never raced before, I would have already done it. But because Zandvort, I just wanted to wait. But that result proved I could have done it. So I'm going to move the difficulty up to 105, and I'll see how we go over the next few Grand Prix. So yeah, that's all in the world. We're going to look to develop an engine upgrade here as well, to hopefully get a little bit more engine power out of our power unit. Hopefully that kind of arrives for the tracks like Baku and Canada, the real power circuits. Those are coming up. So quite a worn engine. We'll have to switch that out for the next race in Spain. So if you want to see that next race in Spain, subscribe to the channel. Leave a like on this video if you guys enjoyed it today, and I'll see you guys for the next episode at the Spanish Grand Prix. Until then, it will be goodbye.